I'm here to do the review for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 17, episode 11. So we start the episode off with Shamia going to visit Cynthia and having lunch at Camp Bailey. So I, I don't know. Cynthia takes it upon herself to ask Shamia about her party and who she invited and why she didn't invite Portia. You know why she didn't invite Portia. They don't get along. They're not even really speaking to each other. They being cordial. So she said, well, why'd you invite Dennis? So Shamia said that Dennis and her husband are friends. They talk all the time, and plus they take the children on play dates. So she said that would be unfair for him not to invite, his friend. I don't even think Dennis went. Did we see Dennis at the party? I don't know. Maybe he was out of town or something. So then she asks us about, Drew, pretty much everything about everybody else. I'm like, Cynthia, you are you the who put you in charge of the girls? You are not in charge of the girls. Okay, you are a friend of the show. Act like it, because you trying to act like you are so above all the drama, and why are you doing this? And when you was on the show, you had your fair share of drama. Didn't you and Portia get into a little tussle? And then you with the friendship contract, and you would, you always was, you know what my thing with Cynthia when she was on the show, she was one of them throw the rock and hide the hand types, and that never really set well with me. So yeah, she doing a little too much, Bravo. You might as well give her a peach if she, she intervening a little too much. Let's see less of Cynthia. Pull her back, okay? She good for a little kiki every now and then. A nice, she served great face, but that's all. That's all we need from her. Okay, next up we see Kelly. Kelly's going through it. Kelly is having to move from the place where she's living now. Of course, she's having financial issues because of her divorce, and then her and her neighbor got into it. I think we saw this on the blogs. So she's uh, she's having some real issues. So she's moved. We see her moving out, and her mom is there, and some of her relatives are helping her move out. And then she pulls up to this townhouse, and who opens the door? But Shamia. So it's Shamia's townhouse, one of her investment properties, and she is letting Kelly. She stay there. She said, you and the girls come until you get on your feet or whatever. You can stay here as long as you like. And I thought that was so cool. That was really, really cool. So it's beautiful townhouse, and she gets there. Shami is there to welcome her. She has some food there and everything. Now Kelly said her mom wanted her to move back with her, but Kelly said it would be um, better here because it's closer to her restaurant, closer to her daughter's school. So it would work out better. But the mama didn't look like she wasn't too. I don't know. I don't know what I get it. Mamas want to be, want you to come back home. So that was real cool. Then later we see a scene with Kelly. She goes to visit Phaedra, and Phaedra and her had spoke about the girls not being able to be on the show, and that she was going through a divorce, and so Phaedra has decided to help her and to do it pro bono. She's not going to charge her, and so they talked about the case and everything, and that's what I like to see. I like to see women coming together, not just being catty on the show and backstabbing and talking about each other. That's really great support. I mean, attorneys lawyer fees is a lot. That's expensive, And Phaedra says she knows what it's like to go through, the situation that she's going through, her divorce, and also he doesn't want the girls to be on the show, so she's trying to get that rectified, so that that could help her stay on the show, So we'll see how that, is. Kelly said she ain't never getting married again unless he got a big, 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 big old rock. So now Kelly, do not let us down. Okay. You see how these ladies have come together to support you. Don't stab nobody in the back now, Kelly, because we don't want to talk about you like a dog, but we gonna do it. Okay. Um, We also see a scene with K Michelle and Pinky at a restaurant. They're eating lunch, and K Michelle talks about, well, Pinky already knew about the little situation that happened last week at the restaurant because she said Shamia told her. She said, "Yeah, girl, Shamia was trying to hide your purse." K Michelle said, "Oh, she told you?" She said, "Yeah, because to stop you from leaving." So K Michelle said after they left the uh, from the little restaurant with Drew, when they left Drew hanging, she said they had a long night. They ended up at a club somewhere, and Shamia's mama came, met them, and I don't care what y'all say. K Michelle is a Kiki. She is so funny to me. I always enjoy her on Love and Hip Hop. And she say Shamia mama came up in there with them breasts uh 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 tucked up to the sky. I don't know her mama like that, but I'm just saying. So she said they her mama started praying for her in the club like for an hour or so, and then she said Shamia said, "I really want you to be my friend. I really want you to be my friend, but everybody, none of my friends want me to be friends with you." So for those who don't know, Shamia is friends in Atlanta. She's friends with Candy. She's friends with uh what's her name? Rashida, that whole little clique. I guess Tiny. I don't know. Tiny's friends with, but it's a whole little Atlanta clique. But we know why they don't like. Well, if you don't know why they don't like K Michelle, it's that stems from some love and hip hop where Toya, that's another one. Toya is friends with Shamia and them. That stems from some love and hip hop mess back in the day where K Michelle was in a relationship and he was her manager with Meth Hits. And Meth Hits was married to Toya. Now, Meth Hits was married to Toya. Y'all know Lil Wayne's wife. She married to somebody else now. This was years ago. But at the time that Love and Hip Hop, they were either going, her and Meth, were they married at the time or going together? I don't know. Her and Meth Hits. But K. Michelle brought it up that when she and Meth Hits was together, he was abusive to her and that he was very abusive, and they tried to say she was lying on that man, and that wasn't true, especially more so uh it was not as much Toya. It was more so Rashida was the one. Oh, she not that's not true. And come to find out, girl, we saw some when him and Toya was on what was that? Love Boot Camp, some kind of reality show Toya and Memphis was on. His temper was very, very, very bad. And I think he tried to take K Michelle to court and she had to get like witnesses and stuff. And he lost his case because I think she had, witnesses and stuff. So yeah. So that stems from that. I don't understand why they still even mad at K Michelle because the man, she, as far as I'm concerned, she wasn't lying. Some women are so pick me. It's just crazy. So anyway, um, so K Michelle said she felt a way when Rashida said that, K Michelle was like, I don't want no candy coated nights. I just, I'm just here trying to, live my life in Atlanta. That was a shot at candy. So I I don't know why Shamia would say that. I don't know. It's just a mess. Personally, I like Shamia when she was a friend of the show better than her being actually holding a peach. I'm trying really hard um to accept her into the fold, but she keep doing stuff that just make me side eye her. I don't know. So we see Angela. Angela has um talks with, I think was that I'm sorry, I was on the I had to get a phone call and I don't know who it was. It was her dad or her brother, somebody. The anniversary of her mother's death is coming up and she's taking it really hard as she should. I felt really bad for her. We met her mom on the show, last season or season before, whatever. And then next thing we know, the poor lady had passed away. Jesus. So, that's real hard for her. And so that was a real emotional scene. That was, oh. Um, then we see Pinky is having a little meet up with Montel Jordan. Y'all remember this is how we do it. Montel Jordan, him and his wife. Montel is a pastor. I think I read that somewhere. I don't know. He's a pastor now. He marries folks. So he married Pinky and her husband, and he and his wife have been kind of doing like marriage counseling with Pinky and her husband. So they have a little scene, and they mostly talked about her financial issues and stuff like that. Uh, and then we see where Pinky has decided to have a 70s party or a skating party, roller skate rink party. And so all the girls come, even Angela comes because they weren't sure she was going to show up because it was on the same day, the day anniversary of her mother's passing. But she comes, she gets herself together and she goes. And the girls, Portia brought a beautiful picture in a big frame of her mother. And Pinky got her some flowers. She said Shamia had brought her some flowers, sent her some flowers. So they were trying to, be supportive of her. I think Drew had got her some flowers also. So all the ladies show up and they dress like in the 70s. They was looking a hot mess. Drew, s- Drew had went to some event, and I think her hairstylist, somebody said, "You need to start dating." And they had this guy show up at the event, and then Pinky invited him to the skate party. Child, he don't look like none of Drew type at all. Period. At all. Um, Before that, oh, I forgot to tell you, the ladies got together at Drew's house. They had like a little luncheon, and it was, of course, Drew. It was Portia, Phaedra, Cynthia, and Angela. Yeah, they all got together, and then um, Drew told them about the situation when they left when K Michelle and Shamia left her at the restaurant, but she didn't really tell it right. She halfway told the story. She didn't even, and that's how Drew is. Drew. That's why I already rock with Drew. Drew tell what she wants you to know. She don't. She never say her side. So she left a whole lot out, and then they was teasing Portia because Phaedra picked the Uber picked the driver, whatever, picked Phaedra's driver. She picked up Portia, and this is right after Portia had announced that she was dating both Big Mike and the young lady. So at Comic Con or somewhere else. So now the ladies are teasing her, and they brought out some rainbow cake, and then it was kind of funny on the end. They was talking about, well, is Ralph in the basement? Is he here? And she say, yeah, he here, y'all. He down there. So they was like, Ralph, are you okay? Can we do Morse code? Are you okay? That was funny. We had also seen Mike had came over to Portia's house. She had her chef prepare a meal for him, and because he was a little, he didn't know about her dating other people, and he found out when the blogs posted it. So she was kind of trying to make like a little amends, but she and him discussed it, and like he wants to have kids, and she would have to go through IV therapy, IVF therapy to have children, and she said she don't want to do that, and it's not fair for him because of course he wants a child. So they kind of like at a standstill. She said, you can keep dating me if you want to, but you know. So I don't know. I don't think we're gonna see Mike no more. I don't think so. So back to the skating party. They all have a good time. That was a really good scene. The skating party. Everybody was skating and Paul Law K Michelle looked like she had Can't be just like, well, I get it. She can't fall on her derriere because she got issues already from, her implant. So now I get it. I was like, golly, she acting like an old mama because she had like this little walker thing. And I'm like, girl, just get off the skates. Get off the skates. Um, so next up, the final scene is we see Dennis. Dennis goes to visit Portia. Dennis the menace. I like Dennis. I always did. I wish he and Portia would have worked out, but girl, Dennis got a lot of dog in him. I mean, you cheat on somebody when they pregnant. I mean, it's hard. You can't come back from that. I don't even know how you come back from that, Dennis. Portia got her way. She do have her way, but that was just like, come on, dog. You can't do that. So he gets there, and they, they still love each other. You could tell. It's so much chemistry between those two. And so he like, oh, you go. They go out to the back to talk, which is the cover. That house is beautiful. That was, her and Simon's home. And he said, "Oh, you gonna put me outside? You gonna put me outside?" They wasn't outside. They was, like on the back patio, which is huge. So he said, so they sitting there talking, and he's like, don't you think? Yeah, I saw on the blogs, with you and you know you dating people. Don't you think you need to slow down? Why he say that for? And I don't blame Portia. What are you questioning me for? Tell me, well, I don't want my daughter to be confused. She said, first of all, nobody has met um Pilar. Nobody has met her. So don't come over here with that. And he's like, well, she said, you had your chance. He said, yeah, 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 I did. Because apparently, um, she had told him to bring the ring back, I think in December. This was before her and Simon got married, and he didn't bring it back in December. And they say we know she was married to Simon. Talking about I met somebody and then I was met. Girl, what you mean you met somebody? The timeline, not timelining Portia. But anywho, she said that he didn't bring it back that December, and they say, she said, I was married to somebody else. He said, you see how that worked out. He said, I knew that wasn't going, work out. So I was just trying to, wait for that to. So she said, so you was counting down. I don't. That's not right. You was counting down my relationship. So it seems, men are some men are like that. They feel like they just got time. You gonna wait around for them. So it seems like what he was saying is that after her and Simon got divorced, that he thought that he and her was gonna get back together. But baby, Portia don't play. If you wanted that, you should have tried to slide back in. But I don't know if she would take him back because they tried it. They tried it twice. She took him back after the whole baby situation, and then he messed up again. So Dennis seemed to be the type that liked to chase. He act right as long as he chasing, but then once he gets you, then he start messing up. So he pulls out that 10 carat ring. Because he had bought Portia a huge ring and beautiful ring. And he brings the ring and he said, well, I might as well give you this back. Ain't nothing I can do with it. And it's like, why are you bringing this over here? And she got upset and she started crying. She was mad. And I get it. She said, "This is triggering. Why are you bringing it?" He said, "Oh well, I can't do nothing else with it. What I'm gonna do with it? I ain't gonna give it to nobody else." She said, "When you give it to Pilar, you keep it and you give it to Pilar, or you do something with it. Get it out of my house. Get out." She put it in my put it out the house, and he's like, "Why are you tripping? Why are you tripping? I don't understand." She said, just seeing this ring is very emotional for me." And I know some people will probably say she was like putting on. Do I think she was putting on a bit? Yeah, probably so. But I also feel like, yeah, because I think they still have feelings for each other. And oh, now you see in the blogs that I got two other people. Now you want to bring the ring back over here, especially when she probably thinking in her mind, if you'd have bought the ring over here in December, like I asked you to, I could have avoided that whole mess with Simon. I think a part of her, because we remember we were talking about how quick that wedding came up. I think a part of her did that to spite Dennis. I do believe that. I do believe she got married so quick to Simon to spite Dennis. I mean, and of course Dennis was. I mean, Simon was twin his fifties, spin that ish. Simon was spinning that baby. So that combined, I think that made her, marry Simon quickly. So she's like, I'm not trying to get back with Dennis because I don't. And she said, like what I just said, she said, everything be fine at first, and then all of a sudden, there's a side of our relationship that I don't ever want to be in, and I don't want Pilar to see. So, like I said, I agree with it. Dennis, I like it, Dennis, but you's a son of a gun. You is a son of a gun. So I think y'all are better co-parenting. She said he's a wonderful father. You could see that he's a great dad. She said, but no. So that was the end of the episode. I give this episode about a B. It was okay. It was a lot of filler stuff, but uh, it was decent. Thank you all so much for listening to my review. I truly appreciate it. Please subscribe, and I will see you guys back. See you guys next week for the next episode. I'm out.